Indiana Congressman Mike Pence now with reaction. He's currently running for governor back in his home state of Indiana. How you doing, sir? And good morning to you and welcome back here to
Good morning,
America's
Bill. Good to be
Newsroom.
back.
What do you think last night? Did he score points or not?
Well, let me say, I think it was a missed opportunity for this president. As I travel around the Hoosier State, we've got more than 250,000 people in Indiana that are out of work. Families are hurting. I think Americans tuning in last night were hoping for a change of direction, and what they heard really was more of the same, more borrowing, more spending, more government, and even more taxes. And I really think it was in stark contrast to kind of the common sense, plain spoken approach of our own Governor Mitch Daniels. And so I think it was a missed opportunity for the president, but I'm awful proud of the best governor in America.
Unemployment in Indiana is still around 9%.
Yeah.
I mean, your state
really
in certain communities has been fundamentally changed. I grew up in Ohio, and I know whether it's Wisconsin or Michigan or Ohio or Indiana or parts of western PA or down in Missouri and Illinois, fundamentally those communities perhaps have been changed forever. Now how are those folks going to react in November?
Well, I think they're looking for answers. I really think that's what commended Governor Mitch Daniels' response last night to so many Americans. I think people know the pathway forward here is to get back to basics, to get back to fiscal responsibility, to government reform, and to a relentless pursuit of pro-growth policies that focuses on private sector jobs. I mean, it was that kind of common sense that I think the American people were hoping to hear from the president. But frankly, that's my third State of the Union address with President Obama, and frankly, I didn't hear much new. It was more of the same failed economic policies.
What we were looking
at
here, health care was mentioned 3 times in 70 minutes. No mention of the Keystone Pipeline, which might not be a surprise to a lot of folks on the House side. No mention of the $4 trillion debt that's been added up over the past 3.5 some odd years. Unemployment rate nationally 8.5%. Those were put to the side. But this was an opportunity for this White House to paint an image of the country that way they wanted to paint it. Did you find in that speech last night a path to re-election for him?
Well, I'll leave that to pundits like you, Bill. What I didn't see was a pathway to prosperity. What I didn't see was the president marking out a new course where we could forge a bipartisan consensus on Capitol Hill to move America forward. And when you're listening to Governor Mitch Daniels, remember in Indiana, it's not just talking about it. We've been doing it. In Indiana, this governor reversed a $700 million debt in just a few short years, cut taxes, reformed education, and has Indiana poised now for a tremendous period of economic growth.
Folks in the Hoosier State want that to happen. You got a little ways to go too, but it's something we're keeping an eye on to see whether or not Indiana can be restored. Mike Pence, thank you.
We're proud of Mitch Daniels, but it's because we've been practicing fiscal discipline and reform. That's what I think the president should have focused on last night.
Thank you for your time. Mike Pence in Washington today.
Thank you, Bill.
Well, there's some serious accusations of a conflict of interest. Did the Obama administration